the Hamilton Honey Badgers, the Hamilton Forge FC, the Hamilton Bulldogs, my personal favorite, of course, your Hamilton Tiger Cats, the Hamilton Olympic Club, and the 91st Highlanders Athletic Association, the Hamilton Tiger Cat Alumni Association. That's my actual favorite one. Watch that. Councillor Tom Jackson, Integral House of Hamilton, Mentor Action, Hamilton Kids Sport, the Noblette Gordon Residence and Conference Center. A round of applause for all of our sponsors. Now we have a very important birthday coming up in the history of the city of Hamilton. Wednesday is the 230th anniversary of the 1792 Between the Lakes purchase between the Crown and the person of King George III and the indigenous peoples who lived here since time immemorial. So it's important for us to recognize that history and also to recognize the role that sport can play in reconciliation. We have in sport an institution that can break down barriers, bring people together. Right now, not enough Indigenous youth take part in sport, so we should always think in all of our organizations, how can we reach out and make sure that the joy of sport, the gift of sport, reaches all in this wonderful country. Now, one of the first speakers that I would like to introduce, I'm really honored to, is an incredibly accomplished youth sports athlete. It's actually the CIAU back then. This incredible first amateur and then professional athlete holds still the OAU record for single season points scored. He scored 5 touchdowns in a single game against Queens. He's one of the greatest all-time Ottawa GGs. And he also had a not bad CFL career, winning 4 Grey Cups. I know how tough it is to win. I lost to. It's really easy to get there. It's tough to win. And now he's gone on to have a very successful career, not just in politics, so we know him today, but in business and administration. I would like all of you to show your appreciation for the support here today of the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport, the member of the Provincial Parliament for Hamilton East, Stony Creek, Mr. Neil Lumsden.
We got kind of work going on too. I'm here. What that is like, it really is a privilege to be here. And it's amazing when you come to a situation in an environment like this. And last Wednesday I was asked to speak and be part of the film and television AGM in Toronto. And it was a wonderful opportunity to meet some people that are huge drivers in business and tourism. It's a massive industry in Ontario. And you get excited when this is exciting. Getting in front of coaches and athletes and parents and friends. This is really in my wheelhouse and one of the great opportunities for me when I get a chance to do this. It's not enough based on the job and responsibility I have, but I keep reminding people that tourism, culture, and sports. Just because sports is last doesn't mean it's last. So the other part of it is there's culture in tourism, there's culture in sport, and there's culture in culture, and we're trying to drive that home as well. Peter talked a little bit about that just at the end. The other thing, before I get going with it, thank all the sponsors that Peter did. It's, they're really the heartbeat of allowing all sport in Ontario and in Canada to thrive and have an opportunity, create the opportunity for young people to get involved in something that has always been very important to me. So I'd like to thank the sponsors. And I don't normally do this, but I am today. Occasionally, in a situation like this, I see some people I haven't seen in the past that committed into part of accomplishing some of the things that I've been lucky enough to be part of. And so I'm not going to point out a bunch of people, but I'm going to point out Mike McCarthy. Last time the Hamilton Tiger Cats won the Grey Cup was in 1999. I was involved in the organization, and so was Mike. And he played a key role in finding a lot of the key components, the elements that made us as good as we were. We went to the Grey Cup in 98, lost, went to the Grey Cup in 99, and won. I say good morning, and I am really excited to be here, and I stick to the notes a little bit, but people in the office were crazy when I go off. You know, when I'm going off, it's the last one. Hamilton has a long story history of producing high-performance athletes, a lot of which I know, and fortunately enough, one of which was in my house for our years. And as I look around the room, it just seems to me, as I said when I was talking about the reception I was at on Wednesday night, I get excited when there's an opportunity to be in front of people that love sport. That sport is the fabric of what they do and who they are. Someone said to me a long time ago, "You're a football player." I said, "No, I'm not a football player. But a part of being a football player is inside of me and always will be. And those characteristics that I carry with me as a result of being a football player, before that, a hockey player, when I was a kid, and when I was a soccer player, played cricket, played baseball, played all those things. Absolutely, that's a part of me. And I get up every morning and thank the baby Jesus that it is part of me. Because it helps me and it has galvanized a lot of the things I believe in and introduced me to people that I've never met and longtime friends that I can call today and they'd be there like that. Sports stays with you. You get into it, take advantage of it, enjoy it. Meet the people, learn from your coaches, learn from your teammates, and I'll tell you forever, you'll be thankful. It's awesome. Sport is something. You get something out of sport that you can't get out of anything else. And I've been in many orders over the years with people. I'll start talking about strategic plans and doing some things, even do now, and they say, "Oh, that's a sport thing." Yeah, right, it's a sport thing. And I'm proud of it. And I wouldn't change a thing. And it all started for me and my mom and dad, because my mom and dad were supportive for what I did and allowed me to do the things I wanted to do. So when I talk about Hamilton, when I talk about you, I brag. Told my son, he lives in the car, I said, "Come to this breakfast this morning." He said, "Make sure you say, do my best to everybody." And of course, he knows Peter. I'm not sure if he's been before. He said, "Give them my best and thank them. Thank you for what they do, the coaches and the athletes." Because all of us were there. Now, I coached for a long time too, and the one thing I've learned to appreciate even more, having been an athlete, is how hard they work, how committed they are as athletes, no matter the age. It's great. I mean, it's inspiring, it's motivating. It personally touches me in so many different ways emotionally when I sit back as a coach and watch young people, young guys or gals, do what they want to do and enjoy it. Remember the years ago when my son was playing back, I was sitting in the stands, it was an afternoon, it was practice, I had coffee over at Old Timmis Field. Somebody came up and said, "Hey, we're going games on Saturday, what are you doing here on Wednesday, Thursday?" I said, "I had some time for your what practice." "What do you want to practice for?" I said, "Some of these guys out here, these coaches, a lot of our friends, but I get a chance to watch and sit back and enjoy what they're doing and watch them enjoy what they're doing." How many chances do you get that opportunity, especially as a parent? So all parents out there, never dismiss a practice, never dismiss a game. Get them all if you can. Do whatever you can to be there for the athletes, especially when the athletes happen to be bumping in your house. It means a lot to say the truth for us. Did me. One of my responsibilities is around sport and talking about how we support sport. I want to reflect back on Hamilton again and just say that the power of sport and what we do and the things that I now are responsible for. I'm very passionate about knowledgeable. I'm proud of Hamilton. I'm proud of the people in Hamilton. I'm proud of those that represent us in sport, not only in the province, but across the country, and those that go on further. Any platform you're an athlete, I'm with you, whatever creative. Thank you to Sport Hamilton, the City of Hamilton for organizing, and the organizing committee. This is just I told people at the office that I got to be at this breakfast. He said, "No, you got to be Toronto legislature city." You're not listening. I got to be at this breakfast in Hamilton. Well, how big is the breakfast? "Oh, it's just 400
Neil Upson was inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, one of the great sport institutions that calls Hamilton home. And it's a great event there. I also have a lot of fond memories of playing with his son Jesse. I won't share all the stories, and I'll be on here for way too long, but one of the most dynamic athletes that I have ever called a teammate. And he went on, a great local product, played through high school here locally, and then came and played football on the national stage and then competed for Canada in the Olympics. Now, speaking of coaches, our next speaker is someone I personally reached out to for guidance and advice. I tried running for politics back in 2019, and so I thought this is someone that I need to ask due to his impressive tenure. I need to get some advice, and you know, all he does is win. That's the only thing he knows how to do. So I would say, don't judge his advice by my results. I would like to call upon Ward 6 Councillor for the past 30 plus years, Mr. Tom Jackson, who leads on behalf of the City of Banquet.
Thanks, Peter. I didn't mean to have one blemish on my record. I'm sorry. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and privilege for me to be here on behalf of Mayor Andrea Horvath. And before I read a few official words from her office, I just want to, before I recognize a few important people from the City of Hamilton, I just want to say in this crazy, turbulent, tumultuous world that we live in, we need things that bind us and bring us together and connect us. It causes us to love one another, and sport does that. And I just admire so much young athletes and what you do to achieve and accomplish in your profession, in your sport, in the venture that you're carrying out in life. But I've always said that with sport, we're building young champions, not only in sport but in life, in our community. And many of you will be hopefully future leaders in the City of Hamilton. I admire you so much. I can't thank the coaches enough for the incredible amount of volunteer hours you put in across the spectrum. So to each and every one of you young people today, thank you for what you're doing. You're building our city and making it even greater for the future. Thank you. Now, I'll be right to finish, please. Once you give a 35-year veteran politician the microphone, relax, MC. Now I need to recognize a few important people here today. This woman has got to be the greatest champion in both sport and politics in our community, from both her volunteer years in our city, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for great causes like fresh water in Haiti and other great worthy causes across our community. And she decided to dip her toe into politics, and she just got re-elected, and I'm so proud of her as a colleague. She loves sport and is constantly an ambassador for you. How about a great welcome for Ward 7 Councillor Esther Pauls. Esther, stand up, take a bow. You notice, Esther, you got a greater applause than I did, so congratulations. Also, sitting at the table here, the top two people that ensure recreation is a top priority within the bureaucracy of City Hall. You're fortunate to have them here today, given that they look after a whole city of 550,000 people. I just want to recognize their presence here today, the Director of Recreation and his manager, Chris Hersteck and Steve Samore. Guys, stand up, take a bow. And the president of a great volunteer organization, one that organized this event, is constantly calling Councillor Jackson to tell me, Tom, we need to get behind this. I'll be delegating at City Hall soon. Please listen carefully because we need your support. We need you to lobby the mayor and council for this program, this new facility, this new service, this new park, this new recreational amenity in our city. She and her army of volunteers have been part of what's successful here today with this type of great event. President Helen Downey. Helen, take it back. Now to wrap up, official words from Mayor Andrea Horvath. I'm very proud of our new Mayor Andrea Horvath, and I'm just deeply honored to be back on council to do my very best. And Parks and Recreation have always been a top priority for this Ward 6 office. You'll always have an ally in me. On behalf of Mayor Horvath, I would like to congratulate all the coaches, athletes, and teams who we are honoring this morning at the 2022 Breakfast of Champions. A huge shout out must go to all the volunteers and organizers at Sport Hamilton for their hard work and dedication. While Mayor Horvath would not be able to be with us here this morning, there's a major committee budget meeting underway right now at City Hall, ladies and gentlemen. She wishes to applaud all your achievements, is immensely proud of your team and individual accomplishments. On behalf of the Mayor, Councillor Paul Zamuk, and myself, congratulations, folks. Have a great breakfast. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. And I know that we're all waiting to enjoy breakfast, but I hope you're enjoying this wonderful facility and the very roof above our heads. It's very nice to be back in person for the Breakfast of Champions and at breakfast time. Anyone who's tuning in to Breakfast of Champions as it had to exist through the pandemic will know this is a treat now. We all appreciate it. And I'm very pleased to introduce a man who is integral to all of this and no stranger to our venue here at Carmen's Banquet Center, the CEO of Carmen's Group and President of the Hamilton 100 Commonwealth Games Big Committee, Mr. PJ Bernanke.
Thank you, Peter, for that introduction, and good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and sport champions of Hamilton. I'd like to start by congratulating all of the coaches and student athletes here today for your outstanding performances in the courts and on the fields of play this past year. You are an inspiration, and you are continuing a legacy of sports excellence that Hamilton is known for. So keep up the great work and keep pushing forward towards your dreams. I would also like to thank Helen Downey, Val Sargent, and all of the volunteers with Sport Hamilton for all that you do to foster a positive culture of sport in this community and to help Hamilton come together to celebrate the outstanding coaches, teams, and athletes who are so diverse, deserving of this recognition. On behalf of Hamilton 100's 2030 Commonwealth Games Bid Corporation, I would also like to thank Sport Hamilton for your ongoing support of our bid efforts, because without your advocacy and belief, we would not have been able to have advanced our bid in the way that we have. And I also would like to thank the City of Hamilton, Councillor Pauls, Councillor Jackson, Chris, Steve, Ryan, and Elena for being a great partner with Hamilton 100. As the president of our local bid effort, I'm proud that we have elevated the quality of the bid, where in addition to ensuring we're equipped to deliver a set of first-class games that highlights our talented Canadian athletes on the world stage, we're excited about pursuing a decade-long community-building movement with a social impact legacy that is centered on sustainability and wellness. As a born and raised Hamiltonian, I've been around sport in this great city my entire life. I played football, hockey, and soccer at St. Thomas More High School. I cheered for the Tiger Cats at Ironwood Stadium and now Tim Hortons Field. I cheered at Canada Cup games and Hamilton Bulldogs games at First Ontario Centre Arena. And as a business partner and fan of the Hamilton Cardinals baseball team, I cheered for our Redbirds at Bernie Arbor Stadium. But it was a fortuitous meeting in February 2018 with two local sport icons, Greg Maychak and Mark Boone, when I truly appreciated that perhaps Hamilton's greatest sport legacy is for being the birthplace of the Commonwealth Games in 1930. While intrigued with the sentimentality of the 100th anniversary of the Games in 2030, my heart and soul were pulled into this pursuit when I learned about the incredible legacies of those first games, especially its social impacts. Those first games introduced to the world volunteers at major sporting events. And having experienced the great volunteers coming together in Birmingham, England this past summer for their Commonwealth Games, I can attest to the value of that legacy. Those first games in 1930 also introduced the subsidization for nations that could not afford to travel, which is an incredible inclusivity legacy to ensure that nations and athletes without the financial means could still participate and shine on the world stage. Those first games produced the first athletes village, and today, how many athletes villages over the years in various forms of major games have been converted to affordable housing? What an absolute legacy. And then just for a little bit of fun, Bobby Robinson arranged for for a local North End Hamilton carpenter to create that little thing called a sports podium. And what an incredible sports legacy that has been. Fast forward 92 years, and here we are at the precipice of a new era. One that brings new opportunity to use Commonwealth sport as an opportunity to think big and think differently, where we can use the power of sport to bring people together and to introduce to communities around the world new innovations and legacies that will make a meaningful difference. While there are numerous strategic legacy and innovation priorities in our bid, the one that I'm personally most pleased with at the present time are the partnerships and relationships we are creating within our community and region, and the unprecedented alignment being created between such diverse stakeholder groups. In a world that is more polarized and divided than ever, politically, socially, and economically, the power of sport is bringing people together to have important conversations about what the future should look like. Over the course of the past 3 years, our bid team has evolved to include numerous sport organizations, including Sport Hamilton, all of the major regional educational institutions, as well as the Catholic and public school boards, the not-for-profit organizations and social service agencies like the YMCA and YWCA, various private sector entities, various municipalities, and perhaps most importantly, Indigenous communities, including 6 nations of the Grand River and Mississaugas of Quebec. The queen bee and heart and soul of our bid team, Cecilia Carter-Smith, once said an African proverb in one of our committee meetings that goes along the lines of, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. We're excited to bring all of you on this journey with us, as many of you will be the stars that will make a hopeful 2030 Games in Hamilton truly meaningful. Early in the new year, we hope to finalize our bid with the provincial and federal governments, and then submit to the Commonwealth Games Federation for international consideration. And if and when we get this bid out of this country, we will be in pole position to bring the Games back home to Hamilton. And when that happens, we will have a wonderful platform to create a more purposeful Hamilton. We're eager to use this opportunity to city build, not only with core infrastructure that is desperately needed, sport and wellness infrastructure, entertainment and civic infrastructure, and transportation infrastructure like the LRT, but also to city build by bringing civic pride to new heights, and by nurturing relationships and connections amongst those anchor institutions that are in position to solve for the greatest problems facing the most vulnerable in our community. We're excited to make this exercise deliver an outcome where everybody who is aligned with our Games bid is proud. And we look forward to bringing the Games back home to Canada, back home to Ontario, back home to right here in Hamilton. Thank you, congratulations again, and please enjoy the rest of your morning. You stay classy, and
Thank you, DJ. I think we're all looking forward to welcoming the Commonwealth Games back here to Hamilton. And I also want to congratulate you and Carmen's group on the recently announced purchase of the Arlington Hotel in Paris. It's really exciting. Just get out on the Grand River. You know, it's a beautiful little town. I took my wife for our honeymoon to Paris. And only a few years later, I discovered how much money I could have saved on airfare. So, now our next speaker is someone who is the linchpin for Sport Hamilton. The person that really makes all of this possible by holding it together, marshalling an incredible team of volunteers. She's also somebody who doesn't like to toot her own horn. But Helen Downey has been the president of Sport Hamilton for the last 12 years, a member since 2001, helping this organization elevate so many athletes. I'm proud of her work with Sport Hamilton. Helen is a multi-sport coach with a 4-decade coaching career, helping HWBCSB athletes excel, and this includes over 35 trips to OFSA. Ladies and gentlemen, Helen Downey.
I'm going to keep my words a little bit short. We've heard some amazing speakers here this morning. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, champions. Good morning, award winners. And good morning, guests and our special guests as well. Welcome back to the annual Breakfast of Champions. Long overdue. It's good to see so many athletes and teams from a variety of sports here today represented. Hamilton is so proud of your incredible accomplishments and achievements over the past year, as well as your strength, your resilience, and your commitment to sport. Well done. I would like to thank the City of Hamilton for their continuous support, especially the Recreation Division, and their continued support of Sports Hamilton and all the work that we do. Thank you to Councilor Jackson for your kind words. Thank you very much. Your support is always appreciated. And Councilor Collins, thank you. And I'm very happy to see Minister Lumsden here today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and letting your staff know that this was an important festival. Thank you so much. Also, thank you to all of our generous sponsors, that your understanding and recognition of athletes and coaches is very important, and you're happy to support us in this great event here today. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the volunteer group at Sport Hamilton. The team that I have are always so kind and generous with their time and juggling so many other commitments that they have, not only with family, but work and other volunteer commitments that they have besides Sport Hamilton. So thank you very much. Everyone that's here today, enjoy the breakfast that we're about to start, and then enjoy all the awards that are being awarded. Thank you very much.
Now, before we start eating breakfast, we have a few very prestigious awards that we're going to hand out. And I'm going to invite some presenters up to help with that. Our first presenter this morning is Miss Lisa Henry from R.A. Riddell Elementary School and Sport Academy to present the R.A. Riddell Sport Academy Award. Come on up here, Miss Lisa Henry. This award is presented to graduate students from the Sport Academy Basketball Academy. This year's recipient of the High Performance Award is Francesco De Lucia. Francesco started playing soccer when he was 3 years old. He currently plays soccer on the regional team for Milton Magic. Last year, Francesco had the experience of training playing soccer in Italy for 3 months. While at R.A. Riddell, Francesco played volleyball, basketball, and soccer. He consistently demonstrates a positive attitude and is a natural leader. Francesco is now at Westbound High School and has been on the volleyball, touch football, and soccer teams. He loves playing sports and is working hard to reach the highest level of soccer. Congratulations. This year's recipient of the Basketball Academy Award is Nico Cameron. Nico an outstanding athletic sport leader at Riddell, playing on many teams who is voted by his classmates as RBA captain. He has demonstrated outstanding team leadership. This past summer, Nico played his first season of AAU with 2 teams, the Berlin League and the YAA ACE, where he developed his skills, becoming stronger physically and mentally. He received player of the game multiple times during the summer. Nico currently attends St. John de Brebeuf Secondary School. Congratulations to Francesco De Lucia and Nico Cameron for receiving the California Sports Award. Thank you, Mrs. Henry. Now I call upon Mr. Dave Hansen, Director of Education for the Hamilton Wentworth Catholic District School Board, to present the Athletic Excellence Awards. Now, the Hamilton Wentworth Catholic District School Board Athletic Excellence Award is presented annually to a grade 7 male and female student. They must meet all graduation expectations, have excellent athletic ability, display a positive attitude, respect, teamwork, and sportsmanship, and be role models to their fellow students and athletes. This year's recipients are Olivia Tapping and Cameron Turner. CES is an independent and determined young person with much natural athletic ability. She is, however, motivated to always improve her sports skills with hard work and training. Olivia recently was selected to the U15 Hamilton United OPL soccer team with a heavy training schedule and always balancing her academics. Olivia sees sports as a positive outlet for her, and she participates at her school in track and field, cross country, volleyball, and co-ed soccer. Cameron Turner from Sacred Heart CES plays basketball, volleyball, flag football, and his passion, soccer. Cameron has played rep soccer since the age of 6. Cameron loves all sports and is a leader in his school. He is always willing to support and encourage his teammates and classmates to be successful. Congratulations to the HWCSB Athletic Excellence Award winners, Lady Carmen and Our next award is the American Keys Award, sponsored by Ross McBride LLP. And I'd like to call upon Alexandra Peterman of Ross McBride to present the American Keys Leadership Award. The Mary E. Keys Leadership Award is presented annually to a Hamilton High School female athlete who has demonstrated leadership in her involvement in her high school athletic program. In 2002, the City of Hamilton and particularly McMaster University were saddened by the passing of Dr. Mary Keys. She was an outstanding role model in her career as a coach, professor of kinesiology, and director of the School of Physical Health and Education. Dr. Keys was a founding member of the Canadian Association for the Advancement of Women and Sport. The recipient of this award receives funding from Sport Hamilton to attend the Sport Senior Leadership Camp at McMaster University and Sport Fitness School in the summer. This year's recipient is from Sir Winston Churchill Secondary School, Patricia Williams. Abby is a grade 9 student who has had a very strong start to her high school career. She displays great sportsmanship and leadership on her teams by her positive spirit and tenacity in challenges. Already in her first few months, she has played varsity field hockey, girls touch football, junior girls basketball, and junior girls volleyball. She's expressed interest in many other sports as well. She has a promising future as an SWC Bulldog, and our community is better with her positive role model. Congratulations, Abby. Our next award is the Dr. Gene Sutton Youth Leadership Award, sponsored by the Hamilton Honey Badgers. Presenting the next award is Stephanie Sutton, the daughter of Dr. Gene Sutton, and counselor Tom Jackson. Dr. Sutton was a true champion of sport for all, and in the many roles she took on as a high school teacher, university professor, gymnastics coach and official, Canadian Olympic Committee member, chef de mission, Gymnastics Canada, Ontario Gymnastics, president of Sport Hamilton, Ontario Olympic Youth Academy, and International Children's Games. Dr. Gene Sutton was inducted into the Hamilton Hall of Distinction in 2006, was Citizen of the Year in 2009, and passed away suddenly later that year. In October 2022, Gene Sutton was inducted into the Hamilton Sports Hall of Fame. This award is presented to a high school student who is extensively involved in high school life, extracurricular activities, athletics, and intramurals, and who also contributes in a voluntary capacity in the school and community. And this year's Gene Sutton Youth Leadership Award recipient is Grace Amendola. Grace is a key member of St. Thomas More's women's basketball program, and she displays great leadership potential both on and off the court. She always leads her teams by example. She was named the co-captain of the championship-winning junior girls basketball and soccer teams during the 2021-2022 school year. Grace was also a key member of the St. Thomas More volleyball, touch football, indoor and outdoor soccer, and track and field teams. In recognition of her outstanding athletic accomplishments, Grace was awarded the MVP for the junior girls basketball team and was named the Junior Female Athlete of the Year for the 21-22 school year. Outside of school, Grace plays rep basketball with the Transway and rep soccer with the Hamilton Sparta. In addition to her athletic accolades, Grace is also involved in the various clubs and activities at STM. She is the grade 11 rep on this year's student council and has been instrumental in providing a voice for grade 11 peers. It wouldn't take so long if you didn't do so much great stuff. She has also participated in STM's Halloween for Hunger campaign and is a key member of the newly formed Knights Fighting Cancer Group. Grace achieved honor roll marks with a 96.5% average. Her outstanding accomplishments on the court, on the pitch, or in the classroom truly embody the characteristics of an exemplary young student athlete with great leadership potential. Congratulations, Grace Amendola is this year's Gene Sun Youth Leadership Award. Thank you very much, Senator Tom Jackson, for handing in the hardware. Our next award, prior to practice, is the Ray Lewis Youth Community Service Award, sponsored by the Hamilton Olympic Club and 91st Highlanders Athletic Association. We have a few presenters to present the award-winning retired physical education professor at Reed University, Dr. John Bile, and the Honorable Minister Lumsden. Come on up. Rapid Ray Lewis was a Canadian track and field star in the 1930s, born in 1910 in Hamilton. He made history in August 1932 when he became the first Canadian-born black athlete to win an Olympic medal. Ray went to Hamilton Central Collegiate, where he broke several track records, receiving a scholarship from Banquet University, returning after a year due to the Depression. He worked as a porter with Seaton Rail and continued to train and compete for Canada as a sprinter. He won a bronze Olympic medal in LA and a silver medal at the British Empire Games in London as part of the 4x440-yard relay. He was an Order of Canada recipient in 2001 and passed away in 2003. Ray was a genuine role model and mentor for many students and young athletes throughout his life in Hamilton. And an elementary school was named in his honor only in 2005. The recipient of this prestigious award is not only a high-level athlete, but a true leader and gives back with their involvement in the volunteering in the sports community. This year's winner of the Wade Lewis Youth Community Service Award is from Reed University, Brendan Vanderbroek. Brendan is the first student at Reed University who has made significant impacts to study his business studies there. As a key player on the Royals men's soccer team, he has been nominated as Rookie of the Year for 2022-23 and is a nominee for the NCCAA All-Regional team. He comes to Redeemer as a stellar athlete from Hamilton Christian District High School, excelling as an officer gold medalist in volleyball, also bronze medalist in soccer, and captain of the basketball team. Brandon received a scholarship award for advocating for others, ensuring positive outcomes and helping others in need. Brandon has volunteered and assisted in several sports camps and currently coaches at Escoma High School. Congratulations, Brandon. This year's Ray Lewis Youth Community Service recipient is Brendan Vanderbroek.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, which is really difficult for me to do, but I got Val keeping me on the timer over here somewhere. So, first I'd like to just congratulate all of the athletes. And you'll hear this probably many times this morning, you already have. But I'm going to take it one step further. We anticipate that there will be more achievements from all of you in this room. And we expect that you will continue to use sport as your vehicle for positive change, not only in your life, but in the lives of others, because that's really what sport is all about. And we believe that wholeheartedly. So today I've heard reference to the power of sport 3 or 4 times already. And I believe, and we believe at Kids Sport, in the power of sport. It's transformative. It's opportunity to build life skills and leadership skills, to build esteem, to break down barriers between people, places. It allows you to really make positive differences, bring people together, and do great things in the world. And that's what we expect of you. So with that, the benefits of sport are proven, precious, and indisputable. Those 3 things. Yet, there are still challenges and barriers for youth to participate in, children to participate in sport, financial barriers. And so Kids Sport is about eliminating those barriers. We have opportunities that we can provide funding for children and youth and families who are in need. And children and youth and families in need are sometimes the children, youth, and families who are participating in sport, not only those that are not. And so, through this grant that we got recently through the federal government, the Community Sport for All initiative, we now have a greater opportunity to give and support those families and youth in need. And so I want to direct you to your program, if you have one. There's not enough to go around, so if you do see one on your table or you have one in your possession, please turn it to page 15. And the best way to get the word out is for you to help share the word. And so we wanted to take a picture of that promotion, because on there is the contact information for Kids Sport. And the application process is very simple. You can be granted, or families can be granted, from $250 to $500, not only to cover their registration, but also equipment needs. And so we just think that this is a great opportunity for us to get the word out there and help more families. So my challenge to you is to help us help more families. Please take a picture of this. Please go to the website and share the link to the application. Thank you very much. I think next, very quickly, I also sit on the board for Mentor Action. And there's 2 really dynamic individuals on that board that I work very closely with. Only one of them will choose to speak with you today, Maddie. But Maddie is really special. All of the work that Maddie does is special, but she brings a level of personality and professionalism to this role that I've not really seen in my life from an individual. So Maddie is going to share more on a program called Coaching Boys to Men, right? Coaching Boys into Men. And I won't steal the show, but
But I'm going to steal the show for just a second. Everybody, I know we've got our meals out in front of us, and the food's fantastic, and you're there with your teammates and your coaches, but Maddie has a very important message to share, so please give her your attention. I know we're getting a lot of conversation, which is wonderful, but it's going to be tough for her to be heard all over the hustle and bustle. So please welcome Maddie. Let's have a round of applause for Maddie.
Much for having me. My favorite kind of applause is the one that's by obligation, so very pleased to be standing up in front of you all today. My name is Maddie. I'm with Miracle House of Hamilton, which is one of the leading anti-violence services serving the city of Hamilton. I'm hopeful that people in this room know about our services, but if you don't, our banner's outside, so feel free to check it out. I run the Mentor Action Program, where we work specifically with boys and young men around ending gender-based violence. So, I don't know if people know this, but currently it's 16 days of activism in Canada right now, and tomorrow is actually the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. This is a really important issue. If we look statistically, this half of the room, half of Canadian women will experience some form of gender-based violence in their lifetime. This is an issue that affects us directly, affects the people close to us, affects our community at large. So what we want to do in our work at Mentor Action is reframe the conversation around gender-based violence away from reactivity, away from individualization, and toward community care and responsibility and action. So with that, I just want to introduce a program that Mentor Action is really excited to be piloting in the city of Hamilton. It's called Coaching Boys into Men, where we work with coaches like you to deliver messages to young male athletes about healthy relationships, consent, mental health, and how we can build cultures and communities free from violence. What we know is that coaches and athletes have a really unique position in this work. Athletes are often leaders in their communities, so we really want to create spaces where we're having different conversations, where we're creating a support culture where we don't have to deal with these issues. So if you're interested in getting involved, please feel free to come chat with us. We're sitting sadly in the corner over there eating breakfast, but really excited to chat with you. Thank you for listening to me, and congratulations again on all your accomplishments. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maddie. Now, I want to remind everybody, page 15 of your program, you all have it on your table. Turn to page 15 and go see the Kids Sport ad in the program with the link right on it. Make sure you have a look at that and put it to work. Now, we've got a very exciting feature here. It's a real treat. We're here celebrating championship athletes, and we've got a few who are going to join us on stage. Our keynote panelists, sponsored by Fox 40 World. And I've had a lot of flags called on me singing with the Fox 40 whistle. It's a very familiar sound, I'm sure, for all of you. And it's our honor to call upon some 2022 Canada Summer Games athletes and various World Championships as well under their belts. We have Claudia Landry, gold medalist wrestler from the 2022 Canada Summer Games. So come on up, Claudia. Where are you, Claudia? Come on up here. We've got Zoe Durchek, a gold medalist rower from the 2022 Canada Summer Games. Zoe, roll yourself up here. Where's Zoe? There's Zoe. Okay. Zoe, thank you. And Carson, you must be Carson. I didn't even call you yet. He must be amazing. Hey, come on up. Hey. We have got Carson, a turned junior world cycling champion. Now they're all featured in your program, so I encourage you to go and have a look at their impressive achievements. Now, Serena Benedetto is a gold medalist wrestler and CSG champion and world level competitor who unfortunately could not attend the university exam schedule. And also Open Cloud, a cross world champion who's in school in Pittsburgh. But that's okay, because I don't think we had room for more than 3 on stage with it anyways. Now, I've got some really tough questions for you guys. No, have fun, take the mic here. What got you involved in wrestling? Because it's not necessarily one of the big mainstream sports. What drew you into wrestling? When did you start?
So I started probably in grade 9. I actually played basketball with, they're here now, Mr. Daly. He was my grade 9 basketball coach. So after I was done that, I felt a little lost and I didn't know what to do. I was spending a lot of time at home. And we had a great promoter for wrestling, Mr. Benedetto, was promoting on the announcements every day. Come to wrestling. So one day I was finally like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I don't think I'm gonna do anything with it. I'll probably quit. And I went to a practice. I went to a couple practices and I was like, okay, I like it. And then Mr. Francis roped me in. And I didn't have a chance to say I don't like it because I just started loving it. And then I just kind of saw where it took me. And I don't think I would have gone this far with my great coaches.
Community, what is that like representing Canada on the world stage like that?
Makes me feel really proud that Canada is a country that's accepted really well internationally. So no matter where we go, we've got fans and supporters and people that just want to hear about Canada. It makes me really proud to... Hello?
There you go.
It makes me really proud to be representing a country with that kind of reputation. And yeah, it's just kind of a wild lifestyle. It's really starting and we're out in all these countries and we're up in 5-star hotels. And it's great. it was insane. You'd be sitting there, and it would be hot, and then somehow it would get hotter. Like, you'd feel it, and you just thinking, how is it getting more hot?
So did you have to pay special attention, modify your training and preparation to be able to compete like that?
Yeah, like 10 of the people just as hot as well. I mean, virtually the same place in the world. Happily, though, in August, Ontario tends to get these heat waves, so it was actually really good preparation just to be training outside 3-4 hours in the heat here, and then we get there. And while the Northern European countries were suffering, but we were kind of acclimatized to it, so it wasn't that bad.
Oh, fantastic. Now, there you go. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about rowing?
Honestly, I just love being out in the water, and it's just, it's an endurance sport, so it comes with a lot of training, and I just love training and being out on ski, and yeah.
So, this might be like a false impression, but I've always thought that rowers get up super early. Why do you have to be on the water at 5 a.m.? What's the difference between the water at 5 and the water at like 11 o'clock?
So usually the water is on at 5 a.m. and I get up in the afternoon. I train at the Canadian Banquet, and we're training on rivers, so in the afternoon the water is pretty rough, so in the morning it's always black, so it's very training, and then we often do 2 workouts a day, so just in order to get all your training and you kind of have to wake up early, do your workout, go to school, whatever, and then do your second workout in the afternoon.
Presenting to our provincial, national, and international champions are AJ Gallagher, VP of Sport and Recreation Department, Brent Brandon, Melissa LaRocca, Manager of Game Day Insurance, and Jason Jansen, AVP of Commercial Insurance and Sport and Recreation Department. First, from the ArcelorMittal DeFasco Skating Club, coaches Kathy Picker, Jenna Smith-Turchin, we're welcoming Tim Goodacre and Nicole Vespa. From the Burlington Aquatic Devil Rays, Coach Sergey Solokin, we're welcoming Aneshka Frickleton. To the Cathedral High School AAA Absent Girls Basketball Team. Let's hear it for Cathedral. We've got coaches Kevin Daly, Luca Fortino, Sandra Daly, and Jim Daly coming up. Attila Maricela Herrera, Nubia Clark, Kiara Daly, Nicole Daly, Rachel Daly, Maya Flynn, Elena Hilson, Kaylee's Joseph, Kaylor Rosas, Kylie Rosas, Elizabeth Spanik, and Amy Verasso. Come back, girls, a round of applause. And now I've got the honor of honoring the Chanel Wolves. Coaches Louis Igneski, Karen and Wayne Curlew. Come on up. Brett Benston, Tyler Curlew, Wyatt Hutchison, Spencer Igneski, Max Nevich, Brendan Latimer, Brendan McNally, Jackson Rowan, Connor Stantz, Chaz Power, Noah Walmsley, and Logan Yates. Come on up, Chanel Wolves. Next up, the empty district 22, and Hamilton, November 55 plus games. Coach Kathy Isawa. For 5-pin bowling, we have Roger Blesses, William Blesses, Bob Filey, Sylvia McNorby, Dale Smith, and Gregory Smith. Come on up. For 10K cycling, we have Susan Blakely and Larry Medill. For golf, we have Brian Cumming and Marilyn Hyatt. For swimming, we have John Addison, Susan Kempfer, Joe Miller, and Aubrey Smith. Come on up. Next up, we have the Golden Horseshoe Aquatic Club with coaches Gray Fairley and Maria McPherson. Let's welcome up Emily Elbar Burkowski, Annika Fairley, Shirley Giamicelli, Brady McPherson Lewison, and Andrew Maricek. Come on up. Swimming up here. The Golden Horseshoe Aquatic Club. Now we're going to welcome the Hamilton Bengals lacrosse team. Coaches Cam McConaughey, Mike Vidal, and Amy Kay. Come on up. We've got Eden Belial, Gwen Dennis, Karina Ding, Olivia Goldman, Aaron Folsom, Clara Hawk, Vivian Hawk, Lindley Hare, Clara Henry, Michaela Lord, Valley Olinsky, Sonia St. Pierre, McKinley Wilson, and Miley Vidal. Come on up. Now we're going to welcome the Hamilton Cardinals. Under 15 AAA baseball, coaches Jeff Knapp and Tim Prashad. Baden Agnew, Kingston Allen, Darren Barnes, Reed Dove, Easton Knapp, Raymond Monkey, Jaden Pavao, London Prashad, Julian Salvo, Dylan Segura, Kenyon Sekema, Shay Smith, and Ryan Skeffian. Coming up, guys. Okay, we have the Hamilton Huskies. Under 13 Zile hockey coaches Ryan Henson and manager Joe Wayne. Come on up. Logan Blanchard, Luke Calzanetti, Michael Calzanetti, Colton Cheeseman, Nick Cole, Marco Di Francesco, Dacio Santos, Finn Matt Griffin, Lucas Hickson, Jen and Texas, Luca Marcuzzo, Ben Steely, Leah Steele, Ryan Cavagna, Jack Trudeau, William Michelle, and Jack Trudeau is also part of the Hamilton baseball team that won silver at the Nationals in Windsor. TJ Turner and Dante Lee. Let's hear it for the Huskies. Okay, then we got the Hamilton Olympic Club. Coaches Marcelo Camarero and Ivy Davidson. We're welcoming Eduardo Takayoshi Guerrero and Joe Sketchy. Coming up. Okay, next up, the Hamilton Olympic Club track and field. Team of coaches Heidi Davidson and Bill Urey. We're welcoming Callie Arms, Victoria Soturnia, and Simone Gravasande. Come on up. All right, now we're welcome the Hamilton Skiing Club with coaches Jennifer Jackson and Bryce Davison, Allie Reichert and Abby Balser. Come on up. Allie and Abby, come on up. Now we're welcome the Hamilton Tigers under 12 ball hockey team. Coaches Justin Shea and Mike St. Pierre, Zach Alexander, Owen Arms, Jackson Black, Paolo Cicerone, Logan Ferguson, Brandon Hobbins, Hayden Candelas, Carter McDonald, Charlie Anderson, Ryder McGilvery, Gabe Burney, Reagan Rodney, Century Shea, Devin St. Pierre, Cohen Simon Squid, and Mitchell Watterson. Get up for your Tigers under 12 ball hockey. Now we're going to welcome our Hamilton Tigers under 8 ball hockey team. Coaches Dennis Bassett and Eric Mastarch, Jackson Mastarch, Walter Brick, Emmett Flatt, Caleb Campbell, Liam Chesney, Hudson Schreier, Jacob DiMarcolo, Carter Forrest, Grayson LeBlanc, Hayden Lyman, Luke McComb, Evan Newell, Jack Smiley, Miles Schwab, Bentley West, and Brady Young. Sheldon Francis. And so we again are going to have Bailey Betancourt Sharon, Ellen Almeida, Taylor England, and Katrina Schaefer. Come on up, come on up. Now we're going to welcome the Jump Stations rope skipping team. Coaches Jennifer Fox and Megan Simpson. Vienna, Village, Megan, Ruth Rachel, Ruth Melissa Casella, Matthew, Gloria, Alexis, Dias, Esther Evans, Hannah Evans, Ryan Evans, Emily Hamilton, Ripley Harding, Evelyn Hoover, Maya Huska, Sophia Jeffrey, Victoria Grosing, Samantha Dumas, Ayala Peters, Deanna Russell Sidor, Leanne Taylor, Amanda Taylor, Mackenzie Thompson, Taylor Thompson, Hannah Wilson, Haley Ward, and London Wright. Now let's welcome the Lawfield Midget Hockey Under 17 Thunder. Coaches Kevin Bickert and John McVeigh. Cole, Alkema, Justin, Garnicki, Kevin Bourgeois, Alex, Rivera, and Zach, Calista, Jake, Casey, Damien, Fairmont, Mitchell, Cora, Andrew Dalbeach, Zane Dyer, Noah Faulkner, Alex, Firstborn, Carmen, Hope, Joshua, Lemkin, Eric, Ventura, Amy McVeigh, and Jason Spriggs. Now we're going to welcome the Mohawk College Mountaineers curling team. Coaches Betty Kinnick and Matthew Kimber. Jacob Jones, Eric Just, Hunter Goldman, Liam Little, Jared Matthews, Joel Matthews, Ashley Verhees, and Elias Pennington. Come on up, come on up. Now let's welcome the Mountain Volleyball Club Under 14 team. Coaches Drew Donaldson and Ryan Swackhammer. Ava Alexa, Juliana Golden, Nadia Cachos, Olivia Donaldson, Zyle Iglitis, Sienna Morelli, Soraya Khan, Shaughnessy Scott McKenna, Tessa Smith, Abby Swackhammer, and Rowan Timmons. All right, the McMaster University Men's Cross Country OUA Champions and U Sports Champions. Come on up here, led by Coach Paula Schnur, the Coach of the Year. We've got Dylan Alec, Andrew Davies, Alex Dover, Christopher Hoffheiser, David Marshall, Sam Russelder, and Max Kurek. I think the Mac Cross Country team had to run out of here. We also have the McMaster University Men's Golf Team OUA Champions, coached by John Ravitch, Sam Cruz, Nicholas Dessereau, Patrick Mahoney, Matthew Martell, Kenneth Brandon Chagoda. And we also have the McMaster Men's Soccer Team OUA Champions, coached by Chris Marcoux, Louis Murillo, Richard Bennett, God knows, Dylan Whitfred, Chris Bosky, so it's Bosky here, Chris Bosky this year, and Mark Wu. We got Mark and I know that. Now these teams are all busy with their courses and their exams, so we recognize, value, and appreciate the achievements of our McMaster athletes. We're going to welcome the Newman Youth Basketball Under 12 team with coaches Don Smart, Andy Kidd, and Alexander Dick, assistant coach. We've got Javea Appia, Kaya Brand, Cynthia, Coachy, Natasha, Jake, Michaela, Laura, Erica, Morano, Juliet Mansfield, Miriam Murad, Jasmine Nandra, Marisa Nasseri, Rosa, Pietra Tuono, and Maya Rigoda. The St. Thomas More Girls Soccer, OXA, and AAA champions, coached by Giovanni Carboni, Nick Memon, Mario Rosso. We've got Ayla Bates, Alexa Virgio, Olivia Caruso, Erjo Nasataku, Sabrina Kunha, Maya Dejeto, Samantha Di Stephanis, Shira Felice, Ashley Mello, Lorena Marconi, Emily Nicholas, Mia Pimon, Jenna Paris, Eva Puglisi, Francesca Puglisi, Erin Scanlon, Mackenzie Scanlon, Janelle Sylvester, McKenna Williamson, and Grace Young. Now we're going to celebrate Team Ontario Under 17 Box Lacrosse National Silver Medalist, coached by Megwin Tolpin. We've got Ava Anderson, Sarah Gilmore, Maya Giddens, Ellie Mae Hostra, Vanya Arusu Anane, Alessandra Palmieri, Gemma Stoko, Hannah Timogorsk, Adriana Tetsu, Brianne Kirkstra, Maya Kirkstra, Peyton Kirkstra, and Bianca Walker. Now we've got the Transway Basketball Under 14 team, coached by Jeremy Noel Carmen, Renee Rousseau, Christiana Bales, Hummel, Aaron Banquet, Manuel Brune, Anna Cochran, Bridget, Denny Avery, Hadley, Lucy, Machuri, Glino, Mia, Mazuka, Reagan, Omoga, and Scarlett Smith. All right, now welcome up the under 13 Transway basketball team, coached by Blaze de Sebastiano and John Fleming. We have Caitlin Conley, Katrina Di Sabatino, Grace Fleming, Tegan Fraser, Savannah Galea, Olivia Johnson, Sophie Munn, Eden Saar, Lila Sochio, Olivia Tetchu, and Addison Kirkstra, and Ava Walker. All right, now welcome up the under 13 Transway basketball team, coached by Blaze de Sebastiano and John Fleming. We have Caitlin Conley, Katrina Di Sabatino, Grace Fleming, Tegan Fraser, Savannah Galea, Olivia Johnson, Sophie Munn, Eden Saar, Linda Sochio, Olivia Tetchu, and Addison Kirkstra, and Ava Walker. Congratulations to all of the award recipients. Let's hear a big round of applause for everyone who we recognize tonight. A big thank you to